Good afternoon, everybody. It's certainly been feeling like winter out there again today with all of the mixed precipitation and the cooler temperatures and the stronger wind. And unfortunately, for those spring lovers out there like myself, that trend will continue. We still are expecting a few inches of snow coming up in the next couple of days, really tomorrow night into Sunday morning, but we'll get into that more. First, let's start out with our 500 millibar chart here where we have a low pressure system. Actually, this is the 700 millibar chart. My bad. I knew that looked a little wrong. 500 millibar chart here. We have kind of this little shortwave trough here that is moving over the area now. And there's a pretty strong jet associated with that just to our south. But that is going to move out of the area. That is what's been responsible for our current precipitation. But as we head into tomorrow evening, and into tomorrow night, we notice another trough starting to build out to our west, and that will pretty quickly pivot and start affecting our area as we head into Sunday morning. Now, if we head down to the 700 millibar level, again, you can see that current system just off to our north, and that will move out as we head into this evening. And then again, as we head into tomorrow evening and towards tomorrow night, we see this next low pressure system develop here, and we definitely will feel some impacts from this system Saturday night and into Sunday morning. Looking at the 850 millibar chart just to make sure there's nothing too different here. Not really. Not really a whole big difference here. But we are expecting some precipitation tomorrow night and into Sunday morning. Now we're at the surface here, and I've gone all the way to tomorrow afternoon, and you'll notice that this low pressure system starts to develop as we head towards the evening, and it's got some warm air in front of it. And some of that will try to push a little bit up towards our area, and that warm front is going to initially be, well, it's more of a stationary front, honestly, at this point, with these stronger winds trying to push that upwards, but we also have winds feeding into the low that are really preventing its movement northward. And so that kind of stationary front is likely going to be the initial forcing for that precipitation, especially coupled with, and then we're going to get even more as we head into Sunday as that upper level trough starts to move in and we get closer to the low pressure system itself. Now let's actually zoom in and take a look at those highs and lows. So for today, we're pretty much just going to hang around where we are now in the upper 30s, which is unfortunate if you ask me. And overnight, things will cool a bit. And in fact, as we head into tomorrow morning, we will reach our low right around 6. No, we jumped ahead. So this would be 8 a.m. We are 20 degrees, just above 20 degrees, right around. Actually, in this case, we would be kind of in the low to mid 20s. So yeah, pretty cold. Now, as we move into tomorrow, temperatures again will warm. We look to get into upper 30s, perhaps getting close to those 40s. But then they will cool off a bit as we head into tomorrow night, or well, tomorrow evening mainly. But overnight, they'll kind of hang right around that low 30s, right around 30 degrees, pretty much. So just below freezing. So again, we are expecting precipitation. We still have precipitation ongoing now, and that will, at least should continue through the day. We'll have some lingering snow, wintry mix, yucky stuff, and that'll persist through the day and into the evening. Now we should have some clearing overnight and into tomorrow morning, at least precipitation-wise. And most of tomorrow should be relatively clear. However, very late evening into the overnight hours, some of that snow will start to make its way back into the area, and eventually we'll see a transition into a wintry mix, potentially some freezing rain, and then eventually normal rain. Now here's the official forecast. We are looking at 1 to 3 inches of snow. So that is still on track. At the low end, we're looking at half an inch. So at minimum, we should expect half an inch of snow from this system coming in tomorrow night. And at the high end, we're right around, we're showing 3 inches for the Lansing area, but we're really close to that 4 to 5 contour there. So maybe the high end is closer to 4 inches. But there is the other thing we have to talk about, which is freezing rain. Now, on the low end, it's a whole lot of nothing, which would be nice. I think a lot of us would enjoy that scenario. The expected scenario is about 0 to a little more than a tenth of an inch of ice. So we could get a little light glaze of ice, which wouldn't be the end of the world. It would be a little annoying, but life goes on at that stage still. But the high end scenario would be a bit more significant. Um, if this storm overperforms for our area, we could be looking at a quarter of an inch of ice, or perhaps even a little bit more, especially to our north. Some higher totals possible up there. And that would be pretty disruptive if that were to occur, for sure. Now, regardless, whether we get no ice, a little glaze, or a pretty significant amount, uh, you're going to want to be careful on those roads, mainly tomorrow night and into Sunday, or well, through most of Sunday, really. But just be careful out on those roads and, keep the speed down a little bit and just be mindful of others. Could get a little bit slippery. Now, of course, wind. Sustained winds right now are around 25 to 30 miles per hour. It's certainly been pretty gusty out there. I can confirm that. In fact, around Detroit, I think it was kind of on the outer suburbs of Detroit earlier, the airport there actually recorded a 70 mile per hour wind gust. So that's quite considerable. Now, again, these are the sustained winds we're looking at, but we will look at the gusts in a minute. This just reminded me of that, and I felt like I should bring it up. But the sustained the sustained winds should hang around 30 or so miles per hour through the rest of the day before starting to chill out as we head into the evening and through the overnight hours. By tomorrow morning, and as we get into the afternoon, or close to the afternoon at least, wind should be completely calmed down, which will be nice. Now, as we head into the evening time and into the overnight hours, we do have some more wind building back into the area with the approach of that next low pressure system. Oopsies. Not quite as strong. We're not, man, I really need to stop. We're not looking to be quite as strong as the winds, today and last night. But even then, we could be looking at sustained winds of 20, perhaps up to 25 miles per hour. And now let's take a look at those gusts. So again, right now, we're seeing those gusts 40 to 50 miles per hour, and they could intensify even a little bit more through the day, getting 50 to 60 miles per hour perhaps near the evening time as that low pressure system moves out. Though again, by tomorrow morning, the gust should be down to around 20 or so miles per hour, and by noon or so, the gust should have calmed pretty much completely. But as we head into tomorrow evening and into tomorrow night with the approach of that next system, wind gusts once again potentially up to 40 miles per hour. Again, not quite as strong as the 50 to 60 we've been, and even that 170 report we've been seeing today, but still pretty strong in gusty. So we are currently under a high wind warning, and I do expect that the next system should at least prompt maybe another wind advisory. Now, of course, our last thing to get to is cloud cover. It's cloudy right now, and it should remain cloudy through most, early part of the evening, though some clearing may start to occur around sunset. And overnight, things should actually clear out quite well. But as we head into the morning, this is 8 a.m. here, we do start to have some clouds build back into the area. It may not be full 100% coverage, so maybe we'll see little peaks of sun here or there. But we will have a fair bit of clouds, mainly mid-level clouds, moving over the area for much of the day tomorrow. Now, as we head into the evening, we start to see some more high-level clouds building in, and pretty much any hope for any sunshine poking through is going to be not there as we head overnight, tomorrow night, and into Sunday morning. With that said, that's all I have for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.